to our KPC Daily Devotional. Today, we're going to begin by reading from the first letter of John, chapter 4, starting at verse 13. By this we know that we abide in him, and he in us, because he has given us of his Spirit. And we have seen and do testify that the Father has sent his Son as the Savior of the world. God abides in those who confess that Jesus is the Son of God, and they abide in God. So we have known and believed the love that God has for us. God is love, and those who abide in love abide in God, and God abides in him. Love has been perfected among us in this way, that we may have boldness on the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, for fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not reached perfection in love. We love because he first loved us. Today's devotional is entitled Feral. Sunday morning, as Sunday school was beginning, I called the church. I'm going to be late, I explained, but I'll be there for the worship service. Are you all right? My elder wondered. Oh, I'm fine, I answered, but my car has a cat problem. Walking my dogs early that morning, I heard some sad, plaintive mewing from the bushes next door. I put up the dogs and went back to investigate. Up among the twigs and leaves, I found a small tabby kitten. He was feral, wild, and skittish. I checked on him every now and then to see if the mother was still around, but it was soon clear she had abandoned him as soon as he was weaned. He was very hungry. When I approached him, though, he would run away. But then when I walked away, he would follow me. Back and forth we went. He eventually followed me to my front porch. My wife, Cece, sat on the porch swing and lured him with food, while I finished getting ready for church. But when I needed to leave, he was nowhere to be found. Until I heard one little mew from under my car. He was curled up in the spring on top of the back axle. A very dangerous perch, to be sure. I knew I'd be running late this morning. It took half an hour to coax him out from the chassis, and I hurriedly left for church before he could change his mind and get under the car again. Cece, well, she didn't make it to church that day at all. The kitten was hungry, needed food and nurture, still needed some mothering, but was left to fend for itself. He was wild, undomesticated, and feared contact, but could not survive without it. Run away, then run after, then run away, run after again. You know, there are people like that as well. Everybody needs some closeness, meaningful touch, love. Over a century ago, social scientists discovered that when orphaned children were not touched or spoken to, even if otherwise well-fed and cared for, they would regress in body, in mind, and spirit until they died. Same thing can happen to the elderly in nursing homes, the mentally ill in institutions. Without human closeness and affection, human beings, as they say, fail to thrive and eventually die. We're built for social interaction. We are built for love. But we are all of us a little wild, fearful of being held and, well, controlled. We need others, but resent our neediness. If we grow up in a healthy family and cultivate a reasonable amount of self-awareness, we can open ourselves to others up to a point. But that point is a sliding scale. Grow up in an unhealthy family, or get into an unhealthy relationship, or have your confidence shaken by circumstances, or your whole identity shattered by trauma, you can get very skittish around others. The feral human. It's a balancing act. On the one hand, to be close without being smothered or absorbed. On the other hand, to be your own independent self without being distant or isolated. To be yourself at the same time you are in relationship. Some people are drawn to a connection. Run after it. But as soon as the other person responds, they run away. They yo-yo between fear and need like a feral kitten. We do the same thing with God. If you have a problem keeping a healthy balance in your human relationships, well, you'll have the same problem maintaining a healthy relationship with God. Run after, run away. Run after, run away. God, I think he just waits for you patiently on the porch swing till you finally need him more than you fear him. Once he has you in his lap, you wonder why you ever ran away in the first place. I'm not sure what she did, but by the time I got home from church, Cece was asleep on the sofa in the library with a little tabby kitten curled up in a ball on her chest, nestled under her chin. I wish you a blessed day. Goodbye.